artichoke tea. It's something different. Apparently it's a Vietnamese thing. I found it in the back cupboard of one of the cupboards in my mum's kitchen, and it actually tastes really good. So that's the tea I'll be enjoying today as I'm talking to you. And I guess that should segue into me saying hi. It has been a while, and I am so grateful and appreciative for any of you who join in to watch this video. Let me tell you what's been going on over the past couple of years since I last uploaded. I guess just to start off with, I think this video will be super low-key, super casual. I don't think I'm going to edit it too much. I think it's just going to be a stream of consciousness, but I felt like I needed to just make this video. I've basically been thinking back and forth for the past couple of years, going, what should I do with this channel? You know, how do I want my personal branding to work in with my business? Do I do it all in one on my main Lisa Study Guides YouTube channel? Do I split it up? Should I do some bits on Instagram? Should I do some bits on YouTube? It's all just been question after question after question, just inside my head. I suppose with this third edition of lockdowns, now we've just been told that, you know, we've got 6 more weeks in lockdown. I thought to myself, you got to kick yourself up the bum and just get out there and just do it. Do whatever this is and try not to overthink it, and it will evolve as it will organically evolve as you get comments from people like you on what you want to see and get a little bit more experience on what you like to talk about. I'm now talking about myself in third person, sorry. But yes, so cheers to coming back, and cheers to you for joining me. If you are in lockdown like me, then grab a cup of tea. Hopefully this is just a fun way for you to sort of just, you know, have a different voice. None of us can socialize right now, so it's just an opportunity for us to chill together, I guess. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's good. So, what have I been up to? I think one of the main questions that I get is, what's happened with your startup? Where's the content for that? And I think first and foremost, it's all good news. Like, we're still working on the startup. It's still going. We've learned a lot over the past year and a half. So I think as I do more of these videos, I will create more of that style of content for you so you can see the more ins and outs of the startup. But basically, when I last spoke to you, we had Edie, which was an AI-based chatbot, and I mean, all chatbots are AI anyways, but we wanted to be able to try and educate students using a chatbot. But the struggle was that neither Josh nor I had AI experience. We're not experts in the field, so that sort of makes things a little bit more difficult for us. But the more important part was that the level of which we needed the chatbot to be at, which was to understand like really fine details of the English language that you just don't really think about, like stuff like the bot had to remember the context in which a question was set. So you know how you and I will have a conversation and we understand that the overall picture is about whatever topic we're talking about. So let's just say we're talking about cooking, and I ask you, you know, what's your favorite time to do it? And that's like me asking what's your favorite time to cook, but without specifically saying cooking. You'll still understand that we're still talking about the realm of cooking. Whereas with a chatbot, it's a little bit different. You sort of need to be able to teach it. And yeah, it comes back to the problem that neither of us were AI experts, and also too that even if you were an AI expert who we consulted, it's still quite challenging, that field. So we sort of have to take a step back from Edie and think to ourselves, okay, what have we learned so far? What, if we step back, can we do next? So there were a couple of different iterations of Edie, which I won't really go into detail for this video, but I can if you guys want me to in a separate video. But right now, we're definitely working on, oh, actually, yeah, I can tell you about it. So I have an app now. Josh developed it, and that is essentially iteration after iteration what has happened to Edie. So this app is called Write Labs for now. The name doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We call it Edie, we've called it niche, we've called it a million things. I think it's really just for us to sort of have a clear segmentation of the different iterations of the startup ideas. But yeah, this app is live and it has over 2,000 users on it. Basically, it's all of the LSG study guides uploaded onto this app. So, you know, there are a lot of companies out there who upload their study guides and have it on online study guides, basically. But with our one, I think the point where it's different and what is most appealing about it is that it's not just a screenshot of a PDF page and then just uploaded into an ebook reader, which is kind of like what other VC companies do. Won't name names, but you know, if you just think about them, you might have even experienced using them. Like that's sort of like your basic. So we wanted to make it more interactive, something that enabled that better user experience for students. So it's pretty much all up there. You know, you've got features like dark mode, you've got me being able to update the ebooks regularly as well. So it's not like just you buying a study guide and then it becomes outdated. When you buy one of my study guides, it's constantly being updated with the latest information. So you're really getting your bang for your buck for only $25 a study guide. So yeah, like just things like that. We've added different features in the app to make it a better user experience, but we're definitely working on like some really fun and interesting things over the next few months. So yeah, that's just kind of like a snapshot. If you're interested, then I'll just make sure I put a link in the video for you so you can go and check it out. But yeah, that's sort of what's been going on that end. Otherwise, you know, I'll tell you a little bit about Lisa's study guides. I'll tell you a little bit about, you know, what I've been doing during COVID. And yeah, my plans coming up. I don't really have many plans. I mean, none of us can go out anything, so plans. So to start off with what's been going on with Lisa's study guides, I can say that I'm actually really proud and really happy with where Lisa's study guides is going. I think I definitely went through this quarter life crisis, but the quarter life crisis lasted like 2-3 years. Where cheers to that. Enjoy when you become 25 or somewhere around that age. I think I started my quarter life crisis when I was like 26, maybe 27. Anyways, so I think for the longest time I wasn't really sure where I wanted Lisa's study guides to go. I think one part of me always really didn't like Lisa's study guides, and I think that's a problem that I'm still dealing with today, and I'm probably going to make a video on it at some point. Oh, the lighting. Is the lighting bad? Oh, I hope not. My house has not much lighting. I actually want to pop a skylight on this side so that the light will shine through, but the guy couldn't come today because of COVID. So he, you know, no one's basically allowed to work now. So dang, that sucks. I'm gonna have to wait another 6 weeks until that thing gets installed. But yes, so I digress. I experience a lot of apathy with my work, and I think the reason for that is because I'm the only person who sees all the problems with it, and these aren't necessarily bad problems to have, but they're more just either one, things that I still need to work on, things that we need to fix, things that could be improved. And you're getting all this feedback from customers, from your team, from yourself on what you need to do. And there's just, I think when you're looking at your company through that lens, it's just, I think sometimes a bit hard to sort of look at it from a positive angle, at least for me anyway. But yeah, I think during my time having that existential crisis, I worked through a few things that helped me sort of look at my work and appreciate what I'm doing. And one of the ways that I did that was by building my values into the business. So I've started doing things that are meaningful to me. LSG has always been meaningful to me, but I just was more proactive in doing so. So that meant, like, one thing that's really important to me is to offer free education where possible. And I think there's always been like a dilemma there. Like, yes, like anyone should be able to access education, and I believe education is really powerful in shaping who you are and your potential. But then at the same time, I'm also making my living off this. So there needs to be some sort of income that comes in so that I can create the free materials. And I think that I do create quite a few free materials. I mean, that's basically most of the resource spent, human resource, financial resource, like it's all going into those free resources. So that makes me really happy to know that so many people out there get to access, you know, YouTube videos and blogs for free. And obviously if there's somebody who has the money to pay for study guides or tutoring, they can do that. And in that way they can support the company to then sort of continue that cycle on. You know what I mean? So that's made me really happy. I've also aligned with, let me just check that this is all good. I have had so many issues with YouTube filming, microphone not working, camera not working, lights. I'm still having issues to this day, and it's been like 3 years, so it's stressful. But anyways, what was I talking about? I've linked up with a charity recently as well. I won't name them yet because the partnership hasn't been set in stone yet, but actually I'm already donating to them. So it's Skyline Foundation, and they basically support students who have a lot of potential in them but come from disadvantaged backgrounds, like socioeconomically. And yeah, basically I'm going to give them some of my resources for free just so that they can access it. But also LSG will be making regular donations, $1 from each study guide that we sell, since that was sort of implemented a couple of months ago, or was it last month? I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's what's been happening there. So if you guys have any questions, what you want to know about LSG, then let me know, you know, what it's like to run a business, because I love talking about that stuff, and I feel like there aren't enough people out there who are really transparent about it, and I do want to be transparent. I think that's one of the values that I want to bring into my work. I don't know, like I'm not really attracted to, you know, like there's like Gary Vaynerchuk. I think that's how you say his name. See, I should probably know, everybody knows, but I'm not as into it because they're very, Gary, I think there's a few other people. I can't think of their names. And that just sort of demonstrates to you that they're really not at the forefront of like where my interests are. But I find that a lot of those very successful business people, of course, totally get it. But they're very much like, you gotta go do this. Very like super intense, like motivational. And I don't know, like I am definitely very high energy as a person. Maybe not right now on camera, but I'm definitely very extroverted and very high energy. So, and yet at the same time, like that doesn't resonate with me. Like I'd rather speak to somebody who, or listen to people who tell me like the real challenges that are going through their business, the things that are not always the ups, but the downs, you know? So yeah, that's that. What have I been doing during COVID? So we were super lucky. Josh and I went to Japan a month before lockdowns began. And during that time, Japan had already had a few cases of coronavirus. So our family, both my mom and Josh's parents, were a little bit worried about us going overseas, but we were like, nah, no problems. Like, we're just gonna wear face masks, we'll be safe, we'll hand sanitize. And that's exactly what we did. And in Japan, everybody's like really on top of it. So we had the best time in Japan. We spent a month there. It was awesome. And then we came back, and basically a couple of days afterwards, I went to Tasmania for a friend's hen. She's getting married, or was gonna get married in April, but that has been pushed back to January. And Josh went to Bali for the bucks, the equivalent bucks. And then literally as Josh landed that evening, lockdown started. So we were both super lucky in that we got to travel, got that travel bug out of us just before coronavirus lockdown started. So I think we've been actually really blessed as a result, because I think if I was itching already to go overseas, then I know lockdown would be like a lot harder. And to think that if it was a travel plan that was any later than February, we wouldn't have been able to go. So definitely feel super blessed there. Bless. And in general, coronavirus lockdown has been really good for me, which I know not many people can say. So again, I feel super privileged to be in this position, but because all students had to start doing remote learning, LSG has been doing really well. Like, we had already been doing online tutoring beforehand, so to transition into that was super seamless. It wasn't something that we were unfamiliar with either. We had experience in it, so that was fine. And also the fact that all our study guides are online, so I think I've seen a boost in sales there, which makes me really happy and really proud, because I know that I'm supporting these students during a tough time. And yeah, I've been, you know, baking a lot. I'm a massive sweet tooth, guys, so I need to have some sort of sweet every day, otherwise I'm not a happy gal. But I've been finding that I've been going back to a lot of basics. So I've been, they're not basics necessarily, but like at first I was doing sort of like your cheesecakes, lemon tarts, tiramisus, apple crumble, and they're really yum. But I found that over time I started to focus more on Asian desserts because they're more nostalgic for me. And yeah, there's just a nice experience that comes with it. So I've been making things like pandan chiffon cake. I've been making tang yuan, which is glutinous rice balls with black sesame paste in it. There's a Vietnamese version of that, which is with mung beans in it as well. My family, like, we sort of are from everywhere. My grandparents came from China, and then my grandparents lived in Cambodia, and then my parents lived in Vietnam for a while. So I've got this really amazing line of cultural diversity in my own background. So it's really cool to be able to like make all these different desserts and feast on them. Although I try not to eat too much, otherwise, you know, gain weight. And also Josh doesn't eat that many sweets, so in the end I have to give them away. But now that we can't give them away to anybody, like we can't even go, I mean, what am I trying to say? I just, like, with curfews and with everybody not going to work, and there's even less reason for you to be able to go out, if you know what I mean. Did I just incriminate myself and say that I have been delivering food for people during lockdown? I don't know, but I'm gonna stop. But I'm not I'm not delivering food. Yeah, I've just been freezing a lot of the desserts for us to eat later. So if you didn't know, you can freeze stuff like cheesecakes, banana bread, pumpkin bread, the tangyuan, like that. That's all stuff that I've got in my freezer right now. It's actually quite full. But anyways, so I did a little bit baking. I'm gonna quickly check the camera. Okay, cool. I'm sorry if that's annoying. I think I'll get more comfortable with it after maybe just a few more videos, because this is a different setup than my usual. It was actually really funny. The first round of lockdowns, I started doing illustration, so digital illustration, and I posted it on my Instagram, and people started asking me if they could pay me to create the illustrations for them. And it was funny because I was like, girl, you know that I've literally just started and I have no experience whatsoever. But these people paid me. They paid me like $100 for an illustration. And I thought, why the heck not? Let's just try it. And it was actually really hard. Like, I was definitely still learning, so I didn't really mind. Like, you're getting paid to learn essentially, but some of those illustrations took me like 10 hours. So if you break it down, it's like $10, and that's slave labor. But so yeah, so I did learn a lot though, but I just ended up not taking up any more offers because I know it's really time consuming, and I think during lockdown I didn't want to add too much extra stress on myself. I do find that I put a lot of stress on myself, so yeah, I thought I'd just give that a break. And so instead, I've been reading a lot more. I've been trying to read up more on racism as a result of Black Lives Movement, and just what's going on there. I'd love to do a video about it actually, and my insights as a result of reading those books. So let me know if interested there. But other than that, I think that's sort of, you know, the same as any other gal, just going for walks, watching Netflix. Really recommend Giri Haji. That was a good surprise hit. We just found it on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was like number 3 in their top 100 list, and we smashed it in 2 or 3 days. So it's only 8 episodes, 1 hour long for each episode though, but amazing cinematography. So yeah, I guess I will leave the video there. I hope that was somewhat entertaining for you guys and just something, yeah, different for you to listen to. Please let me know in the comments section like what you want to see, and literally if you're the only person that comments, then I will do a video on that, because I don't know where this channel is headed, and I'd really love your guys' input on what you'd like me to talk about. So yeah, I'm gonna jump off now. I'm gonna film a few videos for Lisa's study guides, and yeah, bye.